Larry Strickland was married to Naomi Judd for just over 3 years. And in those 3 years, he saw something that 20 years of fame and music and television never showed the public. Naomi Judd was not just the woman from the Judds, the duo with her daughter Winona that sold 20 million records and turned country music into a family business. She was not just the talk show host or the actress or the mental health advocate who spoke openly about her hepatitis C and her depression. She was a woman who had been carrying a weight so heavy that when the end came, it shouldn't have surprised anyone who had been paying close enough attention. But nobody was paying that close. Because Naomi was very good at performing wellness while carrying illness. She grew up in Kentucky, Ashland, a coal town where the economy was shrinking and the options were limited. Her father left when she was young. Her mother worked double shifts. Naomi learned early that if she wanted something to change, she had to change it herself. She drove to Los Angeles with 2 daughters and no plan. Waited tables. Slept on floors. Sang in clubs where the audience wasn't listening. Then she met a producer who put her with her daughter Winona, not because it was a good idea on paper, but because their harmonies were the kind of thing you couldn't manufacture with strangers. The Judds became one of the most successful mother-daughter acts in country music history. #1 singles. Grammys. A television movie. The kind of success that turns a struggling single mother into a household name. And then Naomi retired. Diagnosed with hepatitis C, told she had a few years to live. The woman who had built her identity on performance suddenly had to sit still while her body fought a war nobody could see. She survived. Got treatment. Went public with it. Became an advocate. Reinvented herself as a speaker and a writer and a voice on mental health, which is where the real story begins. Because Naomi's depression was not a side note. It was the main event she spent her life trying to manage while smiling on talk shows. Larry knew this. He met her in 2010. They married in 2022, April, and by the end of that same month, she was gone. She took her own life. Winona found her. The mother who had spoken so beautifully about surviving depression became one of its victims. Larry broke his silence months later. Not with a tell-all. Not with a book deal. With a quiet statement that said more than most people say in 100 interviews. He described the last days. Not the drama. The small things. The way she had been struggling. The way she had been trying. The way he had been beside her and still couldn't hold on to her. That is what left people speechless. Not the death, the world already knew about the death. It was the honesty from a man who had only been her husband for 3 weeks and still understood her pain better than most of the people who had known her for decades. He said she was tired. Not sleepy. Tired. The kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. And maybe that is the part about mental health that nobody wants to talk about, that you can be surrounded by love, married to someone who cares for you, celebrated by millions, and still be exhausted in a way that makes staying feel impossible. Larry didn't blame anyone. He didn't point fingers. He just told the truth about the woman he loved, that she fought until she couldn't fight anymore, and that the fight was real even when nobody could see it. If you want more real stories, the ones that go behind the headlines and into the truth, subscribe to this channel. Because the stories worth telling are rarely the ones that make the loudest noise.